You don't like me enough to kiss me.
Ask for kisses, give a little blow on it.
Hello and welcome to the day 3 of the MSI post-game stream. I don't know if we will have recorded everything that just happened. Mark told them to start recording long before I thought we should, and so now that's all just in the VOD. I don't know. But either way, things continue to look bleaker and bleaker in every aspect. Cloud9's chances, the sky, and the water all going very grayscale.
Yeah.
And
heading for the gray screen fast.
Yes.
IRL.
And the vibe check, I think, in the hot tub also, and in the Twitch chat.
I mean, we forgot to mention the temperature as well.
The temperature is getting colder. Things are not great, I would say. I don't even. Where am I? Did I forget my song? I forgot.
Who needs them today?
Yeah, it's kind of, but it's I got sensitive eyes. Anyway, how should we just kick things off with their first game? Pentanet Cloud9.
We're just going right into it. No, like, how was your day?
How was your day?
How was your day? You say I never asked you.
Actually,
I asked you this time.
My day was pretty mediocre because the only thing I've really seen is like today was just a like montage of C9's chance.
See? Did it just start beeping again?
Yeah.
I don't know what it is.
The thing keeps beeping. I wonder if it's like the filter's clogged or something.
I believe
So was it doing this when you came out?
Yeah, when I came out this morning.
Okay, Avali's not been turning off the heater. It's just being weird.
I believe it that there's something wrong with this.
I'm giving the Salu Spa hot tub a 1 out of 5. Anyway.
At least you didn't spill that time.
Yeah, well, I was very careful because you freaked. Okay. My day's been mediocre because the only thing that happened, it was like almost everything that happened today was, even in games Cloud9 was not playing in, were not good for Cloud9.
No.
The only thing, actually, the Pentanet Cloud9 thing is like the only thing that happened today that was good for Cloud9.
That was the only thing that went according to Keikaku. Today, I watched 2 episodes of Wonder Egg Priority last night.
You did? What episode are you on? Do you like it?
I'm on episode 3, I guess. I like it. It reminds me a lot of Madoka Magica. I'm like, this is gonna fucking hurt at some point, I'm sure.
I watched the first episode of Winter Soldier Falcon.
Oh, hey, you're only like a month and a half behind.
Yeah, I know. But I don't know.
I finished Invincible. I was also watching some of Jupiter's Legacy. That show sucks.
Cool. Should we talk about Pentanet?
I'm trying to avoid it.
I know. Well, look, we got a win in the first game of the day.
Here we go. Pentanet has this weird fascination with self-counterpicking themselves and just making it really hard. I feel like the overall idea of what they're trying to do, I appreciate, of being like, hey, we want to keep people on their toes and we want to play comfort and this kind of stuff. But like with the Zed into Silas and then Samira into TK Senna and stuff, and I think there were a couple other things that made it difficult. It was just like, wow, this feels really bad for them. And the York into Jace is an example of one that I like, where it's like, okay, this is kind of a counter pick. You can play it. People have done it in the past. I've watched enough Dokla playing York into Jace to know that it can work.
The Dokla,
the big Dokes.
Yeah.
So like, I didn't mind that idea, but it feels like they just do too much of it, and then it all like falls apart. Like,
Hawkv123 says if Pentanet had a bot lane, they legit could compete.
I mean, they have troubles everywhere, you know. So on that front, I agree that they have some issues, but I feel like they kind of shoot themselves in the foot just as often as they like make a play, or like that their drafts help them.
Yeah. Well, they have to take some kind of weird risk, right?
Yeah, but I think like the Yorick Jace is enough of one that you don't need to. And like I said, I know the Samira's comfort for Praedyth, and they played it pretty well in group stage, but this wasn't it.
Okay.
The other thing I'll say is it was a bit of foreshadowing for some of the struggles that we were going to have. There was a play in the bot lane where Perks collapsed. There was like 4 people low health. It was like shooting fish in a barrel, but he missed the fish in the barrel.
Do we talk about Perks yet? Because I messaged you about him and we didn't have the conversation. So,
Yeah,
or do you want to talk about it later?
We can talk about it later. That's why I said it's kind of foreshadowing, because that was like, his Zoe's supposed to be really good, you know?
Yeah.
And there's like 4 low people in the bot lane, and like, I think everyone has seen this play before, where Zoe gets priority, collapses on a side play, there's like summoners on the ground, and she just like pops off and is, you know, speeding all over the place and stuff. And then that game, man, that play was just like, wasn't it?
All right, well, I feel like there's not too much more to say about that game. It was like, Cloud9 beat Pentanet. Woo!
Yeah.
Okay. RNG PSG. Was this the first major upset of the Rumble stage?
I would say so. I think so.
I mean, I asked you, was it yesterday or the day before I asked you?
Beeping again.
No, that's something back there.
Oh, okay.
I asked you yesterday, or it might have been the day before, is RNG going to go undefeated? You said no.
Yep.
They're not good enough to go undefeated. And here we saw their first game drop. And this is, for those that are not following along, really, really bad news for Cloud9. Like, ironically, this game that Cloud9 was not in was the probably the biggest thing that will cement them not making out a Rumble stage.
PSG's 2-0 day was very painful for C9.
Yeah. Because previously we were, as we've said, we're competing with PSG for that last spot. Now I don't think we're competing with PSG for the last spot. We're competing with, what, Mad?
Yeah, probably. I mean, who knows? Because I could see a world where Mad picks up a win or something somewhere, and you know
they beat RNG or something.
Yeah, but realistically, Mad is closer within striking distance. Painful as that is to say.
And that's not a very close striking distance, I would say.
No.
Okay.
It's like striking distance, like, man, shit, I can't even think of a good joke.
The level of the hype, the enthusiasm. We had good vibes that first day. Okay. I'm opening this up because I'm trying to remember what everybody played. That was the Maple Zoe game. Right? Yeah.
Maple and Kai Wing and Doggo were all really good this game. Kai Wing has been really hit or miss. Even River has, like, they've all been a little hit or miss. And this game, Kai Wing was really good roaming around, and Doggo as well was like a roaming Tristana. There was like a mid lane Raptor fight kind of thing that went down, broke into a 3v3, and then Doggo showed up. And they played it well. I mean, they hit the Leona too much, maybe you could say, but I think it was a 2-for-1 still. And they were just really scrappy, picking fights all over the map. Like you said, Maple on Zoe, a lot of good roams. And RNG was just kind of on the back foot the entire game. Mostly because of bot and mid pressure. Just kind of making a lot of plays happen.
So
they had to TP just to cover plays.
I'm trying to think if there's too much. I mean, we talked about it a lot from the PSG side. What do you think? Does this expose any weakness in RNG?
No, I don't think so.
It's just like PSG played well.
Even watching them in the regional league, you know, like they had games where people made plays on them and they fell behind, they lost the game. Like that's kind of what this one was, where RNG got outplayed a little bit in the early game, fell behind, and then the team that they were playing against continued to make good plays over the entire game, and they couldn't come back. I would say overall it was just a really solid game. And like I said, River, his Morgana looks really good. He made some really good plays on the Morg too.
Thank you, Mr. Raypass, Dark Loric, and Stwen Gafani, which I love. That's a great name. It's funny because as we're talking about this PSG RNG game, Twitch chat has just evolved into a shitting on C9 fest. I don't think anyone. They don't even really care about.
Else. Yeah. They don't care about the hot tub. They don't care about.
They're just here to see us cry.
Yeah.
It's NA fans who are looking for people to cry with, and EU fans that are here to watch us cry and enjoy it. All right. Where are we?
You know what I'm sad about? In the knockout stage, we're probably not going to get Mad Lions versus PSG. That'd be a really hype matchup.
Yeah.
Because of all
because they've actually built like a narrative over the course of this.
Yeah, where like PSG was ranked over Mad Lions by a bunch of people.
Okay, well let's save it for the PSG Mad Lions game because actually I think it's
okay.
That's good. Okay, so next up, Damwon and Mad Lions.
Damwon looked pretty good today. This was a really good 2-0 day for them. I think you saw some of the stuff that was why people was rating them really highly. People were rating them.
You predicted them to beat Mad Lions to beat Damwon yesterday.
Yeah, but that meant like pre-tournament reasons
yeah.
why people like Damwon a lot. They are just really, really clean. I think the C9 game.
Well, they can be when Barrel's not inting.
Yeah, I think against the C9 game, he still had like 8 of the 16 deaths or whatever.
Yeah.
He had like around half the deaths of his whole team. But he was playing Nautilus, and Nautilus is a feeder champ. Like when things start going bad, you just keep dying. The Damwon versus Mad Lions game, I really liked Elyoya's level 3 gank. I feel like you don't see these kinds of things that much. Because people are so focused on like full clearing. But I like seeing the change up, and you got the first blood mid, and I appreciated seeing the bounce back. But Barrel's set was really good, and I think if he plays this way the rest of the tournament, it'll be a big.
He'll recover his reputation.
Maybe.
So,
but this was a super slow game. There's 1 kill, I think, in.
This is.
There was a couple kills, but it was always like these big fights. Like there's a whole fight mid where no one died, and like people like were running around the entire mid lane trying to kill each other.
Yeah.
It was a very low kill game for the majority of it.
I mean, isn't this kind of the way Damwon wants to play the game?
Yeah, I think so.
You get a lot of low kill kind of. Are they? Some people would disagree, but like I tend to find low kill games boring.
I mean, this was one that I didn't think was boring because even though there weren't a ton of kills, there were a number of fights.
There's like tension and stuff.
Right, like they would fight and like one person would die and a bunch of people would get out with like 2 HP, which I think are good fights. Damwon just had a lot better setup around dragons and vision control and macro, especially like the dragon setups made it sometimes where Mag couldn't even contest, and it put a lot of pressure on them. And I think you saw Mad Lions can mechanically go toe-to-toe. They have the playmaking, they have the team fighting to go toe-to-toe. I think if there's one area, other than that kind of like mid-game throwing stuff that we talked about before, that they might struggle with compared to RNG and Damwon, it's just like actual team setup for major objectives and stuff.
Well, okay, so let's talk about Damwon, Mad, and sort of the implications of this, because I almost feel like in our hot tub streams, the ongoing and most relevant narrative has been, where's Damwon and where's Mad Lions? And excuse me, is Mad Lions you're fine. Is Mad Lions a better team than Damwon? You said you feel like they can go toe-to-toe. Do you think in a best of 3, actually, let's pick a best of 4. Do you think in a best of 4 they go 2-2?
What is this question?
I'm just saying, do you think that, this was a best of 1. You think they can go toe-to-toe with each other? Do you think that they would just trade back games and...
But why'd you say best of 4? It's not a format.
I'm just saying, if you had 4 games and they had to play the 4 games, would they go even in those 4 games, 2-2?
I don't know. Maybe.
Would they go to a 5th game in a best of 5? Do you like that more?
No. I feel like I said, I think they have a couple bigger weaknesses.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it was a big question yesterday. This was the first time they played. They'll play again, but right now it looks like I expect they could win if they won some of these earlier team fights a little bit heavier.
Yeah.
But they didn't. And Barrel had a good game. Maybe Barrel, that was probably Barrel's best game of the tournament. Maybe you could say so. Maybe he goes back to running it, and then they look way better. I don't know.
Yeah. Okay, so where are our tiers at now? If you had to tier everybody out.
So I'd keep RNG where they were. Yep. I would keep them there. I would put Damwon back above Mad Lions.
In their own tier or the same tier?
Probably their own tier.
Okay, so
the Mad Lions
tier.
lost to PSG is what makes me bump them down a little bit
Yeah,
more.
yeah,
If Mad
yeah.
Lions beat PSG again, I'd be like, okay, you're in you're in.
I mean, we can talk about this during the PSG game too, but do you think there's also a world where people are just figuring Mad Lions out?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I feel like we've seen volatility from them even in their group stage games where they were 5-1.
Yeah.
And some of that's coming back to bite them a little bit in these games.
Okay. So.
But I mean, you see how hard they stomp when things go well for them. Like, look at the C9 game. Look at some of the PSG games that they won. They shit on PSG like three times?
Three of the four, yeah.
Yeah, so like to that point, like I don't think PSG.
So PSG and Mad Lions are not in their own tier, or they are not in the same tier.
No, I would say Mad Lions is better than PSG. I think it was just like, you know, like to your point, you play a best of 4.
Yeah.
You win 3 of them.
Yes. Look up. Okay. Oh, Jumper5 says any good interviews? No, I got 0 interviews today. I requested Cloud9 and C9 Cloud9 and C9. C9 and Damwon players, and just did not get any accepted. So
they were like, dude, stop asking that fucking Space Jam question. Travis was like, no, this is free press, and you can't tell me what I can ask them. And then they asked him not to come back.
That's not what happened. People will actually believe that because they don't understand how this stuff works.
Riot is suppressing the Space Jam question.
This is not how this works.
Did you see someone in the post-game thread tagging
Yes, because they were talking about what was it? Showmaker
being Chovy.
Yes.
CSing.
Yes. They said, what kind of contract did somebody said? Oh, Space Jam question here. Yeah. That's great. No, it's as an aside, I just don't think people should probably expect to see me at international events anymore because teams have just stopped giving as many interviews as they used to.
Why travel when you can sit in a hot tub?
Well, this would have cost me like $750 to be $1,000 or something to be in another country for this day, and if covering the event, and if I had just not gotten any.
What about this? What about this? There's probably hot tubs at the hotels that you go to. Hot tub interviews.
Hot tub interviews.
Hot tub interviews.
They don't do. That's the other challenge. Is like you can't get these one-on-one interviews with them outside the event. It's just like. It's becoming really difficult to just make content at these things. Sorry, I'll talk about this later. I know I always get into these meta conversations because I care about it, but it just makes it tough. I do think hot tub interviews are fun, by the way. I did have that idea of like, should I ask Avali to keep this up a little bit longer and see if I can interview people in the hot tub?
Make sure you change the water before you get any guests.
Yes, well, yes. Okay. Next up, or did we have anything else that we want to talk about from the Damwon game?
No, I think that was it.
Do we want to discuss RNG Pentanet?
Scuttle top fight AO. ...
Oh, that's your note. I'm looking at his notes. It literally just says Scuttle top fight AO. Okay, that's just one note.
Most of them have like.
Yeah, most of them have like screenshots even and stuff. Yeah, that one is just. Okay, well, apparently that's all there is to say about that game. I think
they even memed about it on. I think I saw Pablo memeing about it on Twitter.
Yeah. Thank you, Stumpalump, for the Prime and RuneScape for the bits. Okay.
Here we go.
I'm gonna put the laptop down for a second.
You don't want to see Twitch chat for this?
No, I mean here's where we can have our real conversation, I guess. Okay, so Damwon Cloud9. Arguably the most important match of the day for... Well, I shouldn't say that because like PSG doing what they did is big.
In some ways, PSG upsetting was more important than the fact that C9 lost here.
Especially that they upset twice. But you really hoped... I guess this would have been the copium win, right? Is like C9 beats Damwon again. You're like, oh, they're 2-2. What, the dog just staring at us from there?
He's ready to murder us.
Yes. Sorry, off screen the dog is just staring at us from behind a curtain.
Copium win?
The copium win. Yeah, it would have been the copium win if we could have gone again 1-1 with Damwon. You could show this thing. I don't know. I just like. I know there's been so many little moments in these games where you're like, Cloud9, what's up? But Blabber blast coning Vulcan into the opposite team was
it was a funny one.
It was a funny one.
That was a goofy ass little play there. I also thought it was funny that Fudge died again trying to get Blabber's Scuttle Crab. They succeeded. Die for your jungler, everybody. Outside of, I mean, like, I don't think Blabber played that terribly. Like, he did turn some plays at least. I don't think necessarily he was the biggest issue, but that was not a good start to the game, and that was a big oopsie that you're talking about.
Yeah. I mean, that's one of those like embarrassing moments, right?
Yeah. How do you feel about it? How do you feel watching that game?
I'm trying to remember it all. So they gave up that third dragon to Damwon, and I think I messaged you at the time and was like, "Is it good that they're doing this?" And you're like, "Yeah, it's probably fine."
I said it's fine. It's much better if you can actually stop them from doing it.
Right.
But I mean, we also talked about scaling this game, and I was saying like I don't think.
Yeah.
Like it was a pretty even scaling game. Like you could argue that Triss is going to scale better than Kai'Sa. Kai'Sa still scales fine, and then they have GP though over Renekton, who's gonna be a lot more impactful in the late game, as we all saw at the end. This was a game where it reminded me a lot of old Korean games, where like I felt like C9 was trying to put out fires constantly, and there were just always wards in their jungle.
Yeah.
Canyon was just fucking...
No, that's a really good point.
Canyon was in his face 24/7. Just one of these games where you're like, C9 is just trying to put fires out the entire first 25 minutes of the game.
Well, it's a good point, because I remember yesterday I made that joke about like how it used to be, or not joke, but reference to how old Korean League of Legends would just be like, we're going to put infinite wards down everywhere, and now we've just map hacked the whole game. And it kind of felt like that too. I remember at some point in time, Freak, I think, called it out, or who it was, Kobe, was it
Kobe
Freak?
And Freak, yeah.
Freak called it out, where he's like, well, Cloud9 can't do anything without Damwon singing right now, so...
I mean, there's the time where, like, Perks tried to recall, like, 4 separate times. He was just always wards around him, and Canyon kept fucking running up to him. Just a tilted.
And then you always... That's the thing with these Cloud9 games, too, is so frequently you get that moment of, like, oh... Yeah, they got Baron, but they just, they
got 4 kills.
4 kills, and like now they can go do something, and then they just, I think they got they got 2 towers off of that, and then I don't know if they did much afterwards, but
yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think this game again, Sven largely played pretty well on the Tristana. I think he was clearly the team's win condition, and
then he was just dead in that last fight.
Yeah,
right?
I mean that's why they lost so hard, because he was doing a good job. Staying safe while putting out damage for the majority of these team fights, and like having good target priority, and like I think also Vulcan on Alistar was, I talked about them running around trying to put out fires. They actually did an okay job putting out fires. Like, Damwon never blew the game wide open.
Yeah.
And I think, if Vulcan was on Lulu, you can't do that. So I was happy to see him on Alistar. I think his Alistar is really good, and I think that's much better than trying to play the Enchanters and just having him not be able to help the rest of the map out when they start getting into trouble.
Yeah. Okay, so I do want to ask you about Perks, because yesterday Perks received some criticism, and I was like, I brought it up, and you're like, it's probably not that bad. But I think in both the games today, I mean, you brought it up a little bit in that you said it's foreshadowing. Mm-hmm. Perks just not really making the plays that you expect him to make. And I also don't feel like he played... It's one of those things where, like, Blabber's going out there making these big oopsie whoopsies, these fucky wuckies, if you will, and so those draw a lot of attention. But I also am like, not that people talk about the $11 million memes and all that stuff like that, but I do think I asked you, or I said something like, would we know the difference if this was like Jensen or Bjergsen here? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
And that's the way I've been thinking about it. Is you have this hope that like Perk's one of the greatest players of all time, all these great international performances, et cetera, et cetera. You really hope that he's going to come to this thing, and like even in a world where like I get that it's hard to look good or make plays when your team is like behind or whatever, but it's not even a thing where it's like, oh wow, he's trying so hard to win, and like the rest of his team is just dragging him down. It's like you just don't see him.
No, I mean the only play I can remember from this game was the Baron one where Ghost ulted onto him, and he self-ulted Ghost and kind of chunked him out, and then Sven W flashed to get the last hit to save Perks in that Baron fight.
Yeah.
I think that's the only good play I can remember. He missed a lot of abilities. A bunch of people were talking about that last team fight, how Sven got blown up by the GP just barrel chaining him.
Yeah.
But he was getting focused, and there's a GP ult. He didn't have any sums, and Perks, I think, had some and maybe could have done a lot more in that team fight. It didn't really do anything.
Didn't he die with Flash a ton in one of these games too? Or maybe yesterday or something.
I can't remember all the games.
Yeah.
Believe it or not.
No, I get it. They all well, because there are so many freaking games in this. There's like 66 games, best of ones or something.
Yeah.
We're all waking up early. They're all chaining back together.
Yeah. And they're all top scuttle.
Yes.
Which top scuttle play?
Yeah,
Fuck, I don't know.
Yeah. So I think, and one thing is too, I know that there's gonna be a bunch of people that come out and say like, look, Perks isn't even the biggest problem, or Perks is not.
And
Like there are other people that are playing worse than Perks and all this stuff on other teams. Like, I think, and I agree with that. It's more like I'm less interested in comparing Perks to like other players. I'm more interested in comparing Perks to himself. And we talk, I mean, not to get into the import conversation or whatever, but there's always that conversation of like,
how did NA ruin Perks?
well, we bring these import players over here and we think like, okay, we got this, and they almost always consistently play worse than over there. You would hope that given it's only been about 3 or 4 months of it being over here, that like the atrophy, whatever it is that NA solo queue does to these folks and the higher ping, it's not as bad as what we're seeing. And I just like, by his own historical standard, I do not think Perks is playing the way you would hope him to play.
No, but I mean, League is an extremely interconnected game. Very, very much so. And so, like, yeah, maybe, I'm sure Perks is atrophied a little bit, whatever you want to call it. But I also just don't think, like, how would you compare this C9 to G2?
Yeah.
Like, what's your answer?
I would say G2 potentially a little stronger.
Yeah,
than
potentially a little bit better.
Yeah.
Maybe he had a little
Although, one of them, if we're talking about current G2, they're not even at this event.
Apparently they're beating us in scrims, if you believe Wonder on, what was it, Crackdown?
Yeah.
Or no, it was
The
after hours, the
Cadril thing, yeah.
Non-swamp water show.
Yeah. This dog literally just staring us down.
Listen, I'm not saying Perks is playing well. I think C9 as a whole is struggling. I wouldn't blame Perks individually.
I'm not saying if Perks just played better we could win. I am saying though, there's a conversation to be had about like how Perks is playing.
I think so. I think I would want to rewatch a lot of games before I made any strong case. But I think, like I said in the Zoe one, I was like, wow, I've seen that play before, not just by Perks, but by a bunch of good Zoe players where they roam down at the tail end of a skirmish and just fuck everybody up. And he missed a lot of stuff. So I think he's definitely struggling. I don't think you can say he's not struggling. I just don't know how far I go down the like, where's the real Perks and what has NA done with him?
Was this B in my... Okay, no, it's up there.
It was around your head. Yeah, stick on the boom
Leave
mic.
me alone, B. How are people handling this? Perks not hitting a single good shockwave. Thoughts?
Big agree.
Oriana over Victor? Why can we talk... They want us to know about... What do you have any thoughts on the Oriana Victor stuff? That's not my wheelhouse.
I don't know. Alistair Ori combo, maybe? Trist Ori is a little bit more supportive of a hyper carry. So you can shield the Trist and make it run fast and do shit. I don't know. Probably stuff like that.
Twitch chat, anything else you want us to talk about on this game, or is there anything else you think we should talk about? Go, Mark.
On this game? Not really. Perks drink the hot tub.
Perks drink the hot tub water.
That
Fudge being a beast.
I think Fudge has been good. I think Fudge and Vulcan have been largely pretty good. Same with Sven. I mean, like, listen, this is a very disappointing tournament, but I wouldn't say like it's just like we're getting hard shit on and it feels terrible.
Yeah.
I think there are some bright spots that you can latch onto for your copium, even if we get knocked out. I mean, if we get knocked out, it's gonna feel fucking terrible. And I think there'll be a lot of conversations about like, you got lost to PSG and
okay, so we're almost certainly gonna get knocked out.
We're almost certainly having that conversation.
because we basically need like a miracle in order to get out.
Yeah, so we need to win out.
We need to beat 2 more teams.
One of them has to be Mad Lions.
Yeah.
Because we need the
1-1.
Mm-hmm. In theory, PSG could lose to, could lose out. I think, are they 4-2?
They're 4-2.
So they could lose out to end up 4-6, and NA is 1-5 right now. So I mean, like, there's a lot of these kind of weird.
Has PSG already played Pentanet again? No, they haven't.
So they could lose out, right, and end up 4-6, and we could end up like 5-5, and they don't even need to play tiebreakers because we beat everybody. You know, like
Nick Allen trying to troll us by saying PSG is 3-3. No, they're 4-2.
Aren't they? Are they 3?
They were 3-3 to.
I thought that they were 2-3 through the first round robin.
Mad is 3-3, PSG 4-2. Yeah.
Yeah.
You can look at the standings right now.
Yeah, you can shut your mouth.
Yeah, shut up, Nick Allen. Nick Allen just comes here to try to confuse us.
Nick Allen, come here and help us figure out how to change this water, make it not pond scum.
Okay, pond scum is a bit much.
I don't really think it is. Have you been swimming in ponds before?
I definitely think that there's like things that are growing in ponds. There's nothing growing in this hot tub.
You don't think there's anything growing in this hot tub?
No.
You don't think there's any bacteria?
There are like frogs living in pond scum. There's like a green algae
What would you rather drink? Pond water or this?
I'd rather drink this over pond water. The green algae all over the... Okay.
You pour a little bit of that.
Okay. Thank you for the bits, Brooke. I don't see anybody else talking about the Cloud9 stuff. So I guess here's what I'll say is like, I do worry about. I think we're doomed on the Cloud9 front. And
I think we're doomed.
What's very funny is.
Wait, where's your copium to serve? One of us has to serve copium
No,
every day.
I don't have any more copium. Oh, maybe Matt is like been exposed.
You gotta chop up some basil and try and sell.
Matt's gonna lose a ton, and like Perks is gonna activate his like G2 safety. What is that thing where they say he like 0-2?
His 1 and 2 power spike from 1 and 5.
Yeah. Oh, now that they have to really start trying now. Perks is gonna turn it on and like it all turn around. I
think it's in my hair.
No, it's like on the plant behind you. You're good. Everything will go great, but if C9 is doomed, who are you cheering for now? No one.
I'm cheering for them all to lose.
I'm cheering for no injuries or deaths, but the volcano to somehow interrupt this. The volcano disrupts.
We want a mistrial.
Volcano disrupts telecommunications, and the internet is not good at the venue, and they have to cancel MSI.
No one won. No one lost.
Yeah. Okay.
I want the Men in Black to come and wipe all our minds.
Is Raz here? Raz, do you want to come here tomorrow if we refresh the water? He's asking if we think there's life. Do you think there's life in the beyond? If NA orgs invest in space exploration, we might find aliens that are also good at League of Legends. Exactly.
Well, what's the aliens ping when they play versus when they come to NA? I bet the aliens have stick ping, and they don't realize how important that is.
Raz, would you come hot tub with us tomorrow or Tuesday? Thank you for the raid, for the win.
So PSG Mad Lions?
Oh, boy. PSG Mad Lions, another game
Mad
that
Lions
just continued to
overhyped. Fuck these guys. Why couldn't they just win this fucking game?
I think Mad Lions might be the second best team of the tournament to this.
These idiots.
Kaiser sucks.
Kaiser's a turbo feeder.
Yeah.
All the criticism the bot lane got was justified through this one game, even though they've been stomping this tournament. Carzzy's been incredible. Kaiser's been super good. It's all out the window for this one.
Yeah.
I'm not making biased analysis.
I mean, those threads were pretty brutal. Did you see? I saw Peter Dunn tweeting about like everybody going in on Mad Lions after.
Were they?
Oh, you didn't? No, not after this game, but the first game. that they played. That who did they
For
play?
losing to Delmont?
Yes. Like that thread was like they're like, oh man, Lions just play so passive against it. And then there were people in that thread. I kid you not, there were people in that thread who were like, the casters were so biased for Mad Lions, and I'm like, the LCK casters were biased for Mad Lions. Like that's when I knew that all that like
There's just some rage typing.
all the NA and EU broadcasters who I've talked to in the past, I won't say who, they get frustrated by all like the bias conversation. Like Reddit, at some point in time in the past year or two, the League of Legends subreddit community has decided that they can just say everyone is being biased. Like
it goes back further than that for sure. But
well,
yeah.
but it's really gotten bad in the last couple of years, and it's just like all these casters and analyst desk folks, etc., just get shit on for like having opinions that the Reddit disagrees with, and so I think it's just so funny, the idea that LCK casters are biased for Mad Lions against Damwon. I was like, this should be like framed in like the broadcast office or whatever, the studios. People see like this biased conversation is stupid as fuck. That's my take on that.
Well, have you considered that maybe they just shouldn't be biased?
Okay.
I'm hella biased. Fuck Mad Lions and fuck PSG for ruining our chances. We're not gonna get out on our own.
You know what?
They need to cooperate.
I would agree with people saying that they're biased if they remove the I.
They're based. It's an old word. Kids don't say based anymore.
That's how I know. Oh, hi, Evelyn.
PSG Mad Lions. I've tried to talk about this game like 4 fucking times. Can I do it?
Yeah.
Okay. Level 1 invade. Really smart stuff. I will dominate. When he was talking about is Rumble Jungle good or not, one of the things he talked about was potential level 1 invades, because you start Scrap Shield and you just want to build up your fat heat, but it makes you pretty shit.
Okay, Fudge is in the chat right now. Sorry, you can't talk about this because Fudge just showed up and he says copium in all capital letters. Fudge, how are you turning this around? We need you.
Tell me it's worth it that I'm sitting in really old pond scum.
We're sitting in this wonderful hot tub.
I literally can't see my toes through the water. So you better fucking turn it around, make it worth this.
I'm sure that's what he's thinking of. He says good content. Good content. Yeah, that's what we're getting out of this at least. By the way, just want to say, how many other hot tub streamers have Fudge coming in after...
oh, it's starting to rain. Actually rain, yeah.
It's sprinkling. I think we're fine.
I think the definition.
If you would like us to, if you want to help recover the costs of all this hardware, including 2 boom mics and a camera and
we are not
all this stuff.
Did Fudge show up because we were saying he was doing well? Is that why? He showed up like 5 minutes after we said that.
That is actually true.
Yeah.
That is actually true.
I feel like a lot of pro players have like some kind of bat signal.
Yeah.
That they somehow like know when channels talk about them.
Fudge, listen, we think you're doing great. If you could teach your teammates about Blast Cone and the way it works, that would be great. But yeah, really appreciate everything you're doing for NA. He says only one streaming is us.
Oh, that's rough.
I just came on my PC and went on Twitch. Okay, well, that's how it goes.
He's like, shit. All the co-streams are done for the day. There's no after hours or something. I guess I'll just watch these 2 idiots in a hot tub.
Yes. Okay. Anyway,
can I talk about
you can talk about PSG Mad Lions. Go.
Fuck. Level 1 invade. Scrap Shield. No combat abilities, really. Dom made good video about replying to Freak, since we talked about the Freak one. I think we should talk about that one. That was a good video. We talked about a lot of the potential shortcomings of what Freak was doing. He was pretty respectful throughout it. Brought up a lot of good points. I liked it. It's a good video.
Is this the next Alice, Merksy, Leandri's debate?
Maybe. Rumble got shit on this game. After the level 1 invade, it was I think it was a 2-for-1. Might have just been a 1-for-1. but it made the bot lane really weird. And they blew all sums and stuff. And then, oh my god, I'm blanking. River controlled the entire game from there, basically. He pushed him out of his top side. He was up like 20 CS to like 5 at some point or something.
Yeah.
And then that just meant like the bot lane had no way to recover. When Mad Lions bot lane, when PSG's bot lane kept being aggressive, it's like they literally didn't have to think about the jungler. They almost never had to worry about him. And they just made a lot of plays. Doggo is really aggressive. Kaiwing, like I said, has been playing a lot better too. I think River and Kaiwing's uptick in their performance is probably the biggest difference in this team's play, because I would say Doggo and Maple have been pretty consistent, and Hanabi is mostly weak side for them. He's been pretty consistent throughout. So overall, it was just a big jungle gap that kind of influenced bot lane as well. And like I said, Nautilus is a feeder champ. You start dying, you keep dying.
I mean, props to, like, it must be pretty cool to be a PSG fan today for multiple reasons, but, like, one of them, I guess the question is, what feels better, beating RNG or after the 3 losses to Mad Lions, finally beating them?
I think what feels best is ruining C9's chances and forcing these 2 dudes in a hot tub that's pond water to
that's why they do it.
Talk about it for an hour. I feel like that's, especially after the whole, C9's not even going to make it out of groups thing, they're probably feeling pretty good.
Yeah. Nick Allen wants us to zoom in just on the burrito.
I don't mind that. I can get out then.
No. We have Matt Pug. Thank you for the gift, or for the sub, and Spanky. Thank you for gifting a sub to Fudge. Okay. Predictions for tomorrow, and then we have one other thing to talk about.
Okay, predictions.
PSG RNG. The rematch. RNG.
I think RNG is going to come out guns blazing for this one. They don't like that they lost.
Yeah.
That was their last game in their first round robin. They lost too, right? They technically were 4-1.
Right.
So I think they're going to be like, man, fuck these guys.
Well, not 4-1 because then they played again later.
Right, but I mean, like their first round robin ended 4-1 because.
Yeah. Mad and Damwon. I'm gonna pick Damwon again.
Do I believe I'm mad again? How much was my faith shaken from today?
Fuck those guys.
Fuck those guys. Damwon wins. I forgot I needed Mad Lions to lose out.
Yes.
These guys are toast.
Yeah.
Damwon's gonna crush them.
Yeah. Embarrassed. Okay.
Suck Lions.
Okay. Cloud9 RNG.
Cloud9, baby! Hey-oh!
I am predicting RNG.
RNG is not good enough to 9-1 the groups.
Penton.
So this is where their other loss is coming from, right here.
Pentonet Mad Lions.
Pentonet, baby!
Okay. I'm going to go with Mad Lions. Damwon PSG, which is actually really interesting.
I think Damwon still win.
I'm going to go PSG. I think they're on a tear now. Although I am predicting RNG to beat them beforehand, so maybe that ruins the tear. But whatever, I'm still going to stay with PSG. Pentonet Cloud9.
Pentonet.
I'm predicting Pentonet.
Cloud9.
Okay. We almost picked.
On the one hand, it'd be hilarious to get C1.
Wait, Fudge is in the chat still, right? I'm predicting Cloud9, baby. Cloud9 beats RNG and Pentonet tomorrow.
Don't steal my upsets.
Okay. Where are we? So, I have an interview with Anero that will go up on the YouTube channel. I was trying to get it posted from here, but my YouTube account was being ornery on...
Ornery?
On ornery. On Alvali's...
We went over this. It's ornery.
Wi-Fi. So, they're lined up now. Solo, Iconic, a Blaze Olive, Sticksay, Chime. Newbie and Niles out into Academy.
Huh. Interesting.
Yeah. So, everybody, make sure you watch the Anero interview. I think it's pretty good. I think the Solo thing is very fascinating to me because Solo feels very different than what you would expect. I would not have predicted the Golden Guardians to make that move because I think they tend to go with the less controversial players. So obviously at Worlds last year, still, you know, I'm not saying he's not a good player, but I am saying he ends up on a lot of different teams, and he does have kind of a Dardoch-esque reputation. And I'm a little worried about how that's going to play out on a team with 3 rookies. So that's like the big question for me is how does this work?
I don't know. I think you need to do it though. I just don't think that your top or jungle. I think that taking 2 collegiate players and putting them kind of next to each other works out.
Well, I think there's different things here. I'm not necessarily saying that they should have kept Niles. I'm just surprised that they went with Solo. And I guess the next question is like, well, then who should they have gone with, Travis? I don't know.
I mean, that's exactly my point. I feel like you want some more stability in this roster.
Yeah.
And like, what are you gonna get for jungle? Smithy? Maybe? I don't know. Like, what are you looking to do here? So, I think you know, because top lane wave management is so important, and then jungle timing things with your jungler, like when waves crashes and when you need to be up there defending my wave and when we're fighting Scuttle Crab or something. You know, like all that
Empire
stuff.
suggests Viper.
But Viper got signed on to Immortals Academy.
Presumably.
They could have
also signed him.
Sure, I think you know, you can probably discuss a couple of those things, but I think either way, you wanted to get some veteran experience in either your jungle or top lane, because right now you have 2 really inexperienced guys, and they're just getting kind of clapped. So I'm not too surprised. I just don't think, you know, another couple months of that was going to really help either their careers. Right. So I think it's better for Niles too in a lot of ways to just like.
I feel bad for Newbie that it didn't work out for him, because he's like really nice guy, moved his girlfriend and their cat. And like, why you would ever bring a cat anywhere, I don't know. But moved his girlfriend and his cat to America to do all this stuff, and is like just kind of washed out in the first split. Hopefully he makes a return, because yeah. I mean, obviously I feel bad for Niles too that he didn't like make a big splash and do awesome, but like a bit of a different situation.
Right,
so.
Coming right out of college versus moving to another country.
Right. Anything else? I think that might be it. Anything, chat? You got anything for us?
Talk about Chime. Who the fuck is Chime?
Oh yeah.
I suspect he's someone I actually know, but he changed his name.
No, Academy play. Hasn't Chime been around for a while?
Talk about Candace.
Raz says a cat. Yeah, what do you think about Candace, Mark?
I don't get it.
Candace.
Right, I know who she is.
Oh, no, I'm not talking about that Candace.
Oh, then I don't know who you're talking about.
Candace, dick
fit in your mouth. Oh!
Oh, we got him! We got him! Destroyed! I'm gonna eat my burrito. Yeah! Oh, gosh, she's in on it too.
Woo.
Yay!
Okay,
we done here? Can I get out of this pond water? I feel like I can see the bacteria swirling. Like, look down the water. Like, look at it against my black shorts where it stands out more.
Chime was Raz's Academy support. Raz, are you going to come by? Do you want to be on the stream? Tomorrow or Tuesday? Especially if we figure out a way to make this water nicer. Moonfish says bubbles for the win. How many subs to drink the water? I don't know if that's safe. That might be a TOS thing.
20 subs.
That's your grave.
Yeah, I'm not doing that. Okay. Adam X, thank you for the Prime. Oh, Gamsu coming back. Also got announced yesterday. I think it's cool. I interviewed him. Core JJ convinced him to come back. He's a nice guy. I think it'd be fun to see him resurface. Mark doesn't seem to be excited. Can we at least get a little copium in the stream? No, we're all out of copium. You can get out, Mark. I'll close out the stream. Thanks everyone for watching. Thank you, Alienware. This is Adele XPS, part of the part of which I was able to get as part of the Alienware deal. So thank you. Usually we'd hold a Alienware computer, but having a much lighter laptop. Not to say that the Alienwares are not light, but they are 15 to 17 inch, so that you can see these. You can get amazing graphics on a good size screen. The XPS 13, a little easier for the jacuzzi situation. And then be sure to check out the Alienware X series, which there's more details coming out on June 1st. Thank you to GameFeel as well. They don't officially sponsor this, but you know, if I'm going to drink one during the stream, I might as well give them a shout out. And can we set up some sub goals for the stream for the future? I don't know what the sub goals are. I would, you know, it's nice if people sub, but I also kind of, we had a lot of fun with it with the Mark